Hello, everyone, and welcome into part 2 of the TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs, your perfect pour weight. Specs whiskey sales now on with savings worth savoring on your favorite bottles at Specs. The fun starts here. Ella Ryan, favorite part of the program was?
The little scorpion bit. Not because of what it was, but y'all went back to talking about football and games, and the comments and the text just kept talking about their own personal little stories and just completely ignoring the rest of the things y'all were saying.
Yeah, so Billy basically got bit by a scorpion, and we ended up spending a full segment on that. Good times. Nick, your favorite part?
Marty Smith, because he was in Jimmy Johnson's man cave. Jimmy Johnson, I'm a big NASCAR fan, so that made my day.
By the way, do you think most people, our audience, when you say Jimmy Johnson, think of
football?
Okay.
The coach, definitely.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad you said the NASCAR.
But when I hear it, I think race car driver.
What else is left on the rewind? What are we going to see?
OB, that's it.
That's it. All right. Not a lot of splash today. The show was great. Check it out. A&M moves up one spot in the AP poll. They move up to number 9. And you have any thoughts on that? Nah.
No, it's probably where they should be.
Yep. But then I'm reminded from our friends at Saturday Down South. I'm just going to read this little portion and then we can kind of discuss. A&M, this marks the 11th season since 2010 that the Aggies have cracked the top 10. During that stretch, 2010 to 2025, only 4 SEC teams have reached the top 10 in more seasons. In those previous 10 seasons, which the Aggies reached the top 10, they finished the season unranked. Yes, unranked 7 times. Only twice did they finish in the top 10 in those seasons. One of those seasons was the COVID Alter 2020 campaign. People always got to throw that in.
Yeah, I hate that because...
they do that. They don't do that to LeBron.
They don't do that to Alabama.
Yeah.
You know, when has anyone ever talked about that Alabama national championship? So, yeah, but that was the COVID year.
Yeah.
In fact, in Saturday Down South, if anybody should know this, A&M played a more difficult schedule because of COVID than they would have without it, because they didn't play that bad Colorado team at Kyle Field and 3 gimme non-conference games. They would not have played Florida, which was ranked number 3. You know, it's just that.
But you know how you silence that commentary? You win this season.
Yeah, you just keep winning.
Yeah.
But and some of those, they opened the season ranked 6th, I think, back-to-back years, and didn't finish. And then last year they didn't finish.
Yeah. Right.
So
they didn't finish, and I hope that this program, one of my wishes for this program, is for them to get to a point where you can withstand injuries, because guess what? Injuries are going to happen.
Hopefully not, but yeah. I mean,
at some position, right? Like last year, it wasn't the quarterback position that was decimated by injury, unless you want to consider Connor had a down year because of it, and that's why he was replaced. You can say that, sure. I don't feel like I know them as well as I know Oklahoma, even though they've, they had the Baylor game, they had the Oklahoma game. That being said, those wide receivers really worry me, but their offensive line seems to be a problem. So, like, when you look at A&M and try to project forward, how does A&M neutralize what Auburn does well?
The defensive front. If that defensive front, which is very good, can be disruptive, and honestly, this is so football speak, but if they stay gap sound, because Jackson Arnold is really dangerous running the football. We've seen that. When he was at Oklahoma and now at Auburn, he can be a real problem with his legs. So if they can stay gap sound, that to me is the sauce, and get pressure on him with the front, then they'll have a really good chance. And then on the other side of the ball, I love what A&M's doing offensively, man. I said it from the first time we started talking this season. Marcel Reed did not get the respect he deserved coming into this season, because a lot of people didn't know if he could stretch the field. And that guy can do that. And we know what he can do with his legs. I really like this A&M team a lot. Said it last week. They are in the national narrative and should be.
Marty, I'm super intrigued by this Arkansas-Notre Dame game for a couple reasons. A, I want to see what Arkansas does against Notre Dame, because I think it'll give me a better gauge of A&M against, how good they were against Notre Dame and how good they could potentially be against Arkansas. That offense to me is salty, but their defense seems to be having some issues.
Oh, man. Sam Pittman, one of the greatest men, one of the greatest dudes I've ever been around, and a really good football coach. And to lose the way they've lost, if you're a Hog fan, is just gutting. Taylon Green, phenomenal behind center. Bobby Petrino has been an offensive savant.
My question is how much and how fast do they improve defensively? I'm of the opinion that if they can win these home games, by the time they go on the road, they should be a much better defensive team, and things could get really interesting. I also said before the season, David, when I picked 9-3, I said their path to the playoff, to me, involves beating Notre Dame and Auburn. I said, get out of September undefeated, and things look a lot different. Someone asked me if I was ready to go with a 10-2 prediction. I said no, but get back to me if they beat Auburn. Because if they open the season 4-0 with a couple of home games, a road trip to an Arkansas team that could be 4-0 and ranked right now, but instead they're staring at a real problem.
They could be firing their coach too.
If they lose to Notre Dame and Tennessee. It's you look at that schedule and it gets pretty interesting after. But I said all along, if they could beat Notre Dame and Auburn, you'll come out of September with people talking about A&M as a legitimate SEC title and playoff contender. Now, they started doing that earlier than I thought with just the one win, but I still stand on what I said. Win these two, and I think then you look at the rest of the schedule and you go, okay, defend your home field. Oh, and by the way, same thing we said about Texas, South Carolina,
Texas, South
Carolina, LSU, and especially Florida. All of those offenses right now today don't look anything like we thought they would. Win your home games. If you beat Auburn, I'm looking at it going, win your 4 remaining home games, obviously Samford being one of those. And then you're at 8. And then you go and look at the other 4, and it's the road games. It's Arkansas, Missouri, LSU, and Texas. And you've literally created a situation where if you split those, you're in the playoff problem.
Yeah.
So, again, this is a massive, massive game this weekend. And if you look at this history, and if you just watch Auburn play football, and you look at the game last year, if you think it's going to be anything but close, you're crazy. If you think you're going to go in the fourth quarter where it's going to be up for grabs, if you're expecting it not to be, you're crazy. Like, just win it. Just win it. That's it. And if you do, things are all of a sudden, I think a whole new world opens up of possibilities. But have fun. Talk your trash. Like, I don't care. You get a posterized dunk against Sam Houston in basketball. I don't care if you pose. Yeah. You hit a grand slam against Sam Houston in baseball, or I'm thinking of a much lesser team, like somebody that's really you overmatch and you hit a home run. I mean, it doesn't mean don't enjoy your home run trot. I'm fine with what he did. That's what people don't understand. And the Longhorns, social media team, they've now taken this victim mentality because that's what they love to do. They took this victim mentality now where they're saying everyone's making fun of poor Arch. Poor Arch, he's struggling. He finally had a good game. Let him live. Let him enjoy football again. That's what was missing. That's not what you're doing. I can go pull all the receipts. 90% of their fans didn't do that. Didn't say, Amanda was on the pod yesterday, and she said, I was just happy to see him making throws that he was missing against other bad teams.
Yeah.
He would not have made those throws against UTEP and San Jose State, and he was making them. That is the normal reaction. Yeah, he did throw the ball better. He looked like he was having more fun. He looked like some pressure was off. That's the beauty of that schedule. So don't come at A&M people when they're playing Samford later in the year when you're playing Georgia, when for 5 weeks between Ohio State and Florida, 5 weeks to get right, because you're lucky you're not playing certain teams right now. You're very lucky. I think Texas will get a lot better. I'm not one of these people that think they're done.
They've given up 14 points.
They're good. I don't know. It's exactly what I said. I don't think they're elite like they were last year. It is exactly like I said. I think Arch will go through growing pains. I think losing all those O-linemen plus the receivers plus having no experience at quarterback will hurt your offense. Shocker. It's hurt the offense. Thought they'd be really strong on defense. They are. Hell, the only thing I've been wrong about is I picked them to beat Ohio State. Sorry, my bad. But the rest of it, if you look at, they go San Jose, UTEP, Sam Houston, bye week. That's 5 weeks between Ohio State and Florida. So I don't mind it. Just be quiet later in the year when the SEC teams are playing no-name teams and you act like you didn't.
All right, Miss Ella Ryan. I don't know why I do the last name with you all the time. Miss Ella Ryan.
That's fine.
Can you tell the people what to do?
Y'all should all like and subscribe and follow along and tune in tomorrow to TexAgs Live.
And comment if you don't mind.
Comment and text.
We
all of
love when you
those.
do all that. It makes their job easier, my job easier. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you mañana.